wrong about him right at this point.
I have to be careful about what I say because I feel very strongly about what happened with this story, and I don't want to get myself or anyone else in trouble. So I just want to say that in despite a very poorly constructed story that was heavy-handed and put an unnecessary strain on the character of Devon, the relationship with Hillary, and really interrupted the momentum with Devon and Hillary as an up-and-coming couple that should be one of the tentpole couples of the show for the under 35 crowd. I will say that Bryton James was consistent throughout the entire thing. He never phoned it in. He gave his all. He sold it, even when there was nothing to sell, when there was no depth, when there was nothing. You couldn't pull a semblance of consciousness if you had a homing beacon on it. That's how awful this Devon, Hillary, Neil thing that went on unnecessarily long.
I don't even know what to call it because it was absolutely terrible. I really don't. I don't know what to call it. And this is coming from a huge Heathen fan. And again, this Heathen fan was not a Heathen fan in the beginning, but turned into one down the pike. And I was literally sitting here bored out of my mind because it literally looked like there was absolutely nowhere to go. They weren't going anywhere with it. But as you said, he never phoned it in and he kept it real. And that's one of the things I like about Bryton is that he never phones it in. He plays it and he plays it to the hilt, and God bless him for that. But again, this story was trash. So it was straight up trash.
Yes, it was. Though if I had to pull, just off the top of my head, I think the immediate scenes in whatever island they were in after Hillary disappeared, where he's like, this is my wife we're talking about. I love her. I would never do anything to harm her. She's missing, and you're in here questioning me when you should be out looking for her. That was a great scene. I think one of the other scenes was when when they got a tip about Hillary and they thought she might be in town, and he, decided to pay whoever it was, and it found out it was a false lead, and he was just severely crushed. I think the plane crash stuff from last February, was that last February, the plane crash? Where they found out about the affair?
That was the start of February sweeps, yep.
Okay, yeah, that, there was the stuff on the plane was just fantastic. They could definitely pull from that. And if you want to go a different route, there's some
They can pull that for Kristoff, too, if you want to think about it. Kristoff can pull stuff from that.
They could. There's also the angsty little bit when Hillary woke up from her coma and was in love with Neil, and he kind of resigned himself to the fact that he wasn't going to get her back, and they had some really good scenes there. So he has a lot he could pull from, even though the story was awful. And then there's Young, who if you take his performances from January to September, every week there's something you could pull from, whether it's Rick going off the rails to Rick finding out that Maya is transgender, to being hurt that Ridge knew, the cabin scenes where Maya goes to find him, and he tells her, that he loves her. Like all of that stuff was great. Coming back and losing control of the company, he has some great scenes with Captain Kelly Lang, where he basically talks about, he's never going to be, the son that Eric wants. Great scenes opposite Source and K. So there's a lot they could pull from there. I don't want to make my final assessment until we know for certain what was submitted, but those three names, Steve Burton, Bryton James, Jacob Young, are the ones I think we should look out for because they've got a great amount of material.
They got a great amount of work. They had a great year. They have a lot to pull from, and I agree with you, especially Jacob. I think he's got the most to capitalize from. So, yeah, definitely. I honestly can't wait till the reels come out and we get to find out exactly what they submitted because, honestly, they really do have a lot of good material to choose from. So only time will tell. But, yeah, I totally agree with you on that front. And, no, my guest has not called in yet, in case you were going to ask me. Just so I know that out there. So I throw that out there.
We've got outstanding younger actress in the drama series, Raina Edwards as Nicole Levant from The Bold and the Beautiful, Hunter King as Summer Newman from The Young and the Restless, True O'Brien as Paige Larson from Days of Our Lives, Ashlyn Pierce as Allie Forrester, The Bold and the Beautiful, and Brooklyn Ray Silver as Emma Drake, General Hospital. I want to start with you on this one, buddy.
Tough category. Tough. We got some really, really great young actresses in this category. Raina Edwards coming in as Nicole, especially starting out, absolutely phenomenal little thing. I mean, she really is charismatic in this role. I just love the scenes when it was revealed that Maya was Myron and the aftermath of that and the true support of a sisterly bond and standing up against Obama Tunde's character on the show. She was just a phenomenal powerhouse. This little tiny thing, she's a phenomenal powerhouse. I can't say enough about her. She's absolutely amazing. She's really, really a little spitfire. I can't say enough about her. Ashlyn Pierce, God, I'm still upset about the fact that she was let go from the show. I still can't wrap my head around the fact that she was let go from the show. But her final scenes with the confrontation with Steffi, leading up to the confrontation with Steffi in the car, and just those final moments, it was just heart-wrenching, gut-wrenching material, and she pulled it off. I remember her on Twitter, because I think actually B&B was a day behind at the time, and she actually said on Twitter that was her hardest day of working. It was a really hard day for her when she filmed those scenes. I can see why, obviously, once the next day when the character was killed off. And as I said, she knocked it out of the ballpark, and it was just, for me as a fan, when I watched it, knowing originally when the scenes with Darla and, God, what is Steffi's sister's name? Phoebe and Taylor, when that happened in that same spot, and then then here she is, Allie, to her death in the same spot as her mom. I just thought that was just mesmerizing gold. I thought it was pure gold. And Brooklyn, this little girl, I want to hug her and put her in my pocket. The scenes when she basically, with Samantha McCall and where the whole thing came out of the fact that Sam and Patrick were not going to get married. She was crying for Robin. She wanted Sam to get out. I couldn't help but feel for her. Brooklyn really brought the house down and made me feel for her. I almost started crying. I'm crying right now because I'm talking about it. And she's just amazing. This little girl is amazing. She's going to go into bigger, better, and brighter things. God bless her heart. She's the one to look out for, especially in this category. These three, Ashlyn, Brooklyn, and Rain, are the three top picks in this category. Really, really are.
I have to agree with you 100%. I feel like Rain is one of those rare finds nowadays. You know, a lot of times, you know, they bring in new characters and you know, new actors, and they throw them in to these things, and they drown. But I think this Rain is how you do it right. They eased Nicole in. They surrounded her with, you know, veteran characters, and characters that were, even if they're not veterans, they were already established. It made it easier to get acclimated to the role, and Rain brought it every time. from she can play. Nicole started off as a little devious, a little mischievous, blackmailing her sister and all that stuff, and sort of kind of following in the stereotype of what Caroline believed Maya to be. That gold digger. It kind of seemed like Nicole might be going on that route, and then of course you see that now all that she really wants is to have a relationship with her sister. There's some really fantastic scenes opposite Kalamazoo that they can choose from, where Nicole, confronts Maya about why did you leave me?
Right.
You didn't come back for me. Those were great. There was the finding out that Maya was Myron. Maya is transgender. There's the false romance that she had with Wyatt. Being angry that she was used by him. There was a really nice little confrontation there. Of course, the beginnings of her romance with Zende, with Rome Flynn, which were really good. The pregnancy. There's a lot that can pick from, and to sort of quote Ashley when she did her year in review for The Bold and Beautiful, sort of the tale of two halves. And I feel like for Rain, you've got two different styles of performances that you can choose from. But I agree with you. Rain, Ashlyn Pierce, and Brooklyn Ray Silzer are the names to look out for in that category.
I have somebody joining me right now because, well, I love this woman. How else am I supposed to introduce her? And she's also nominated in the lead actress category. What is there to be said about Maura West that I haven't already said on this show, on Twitter, on Facebook, and on Instagram?
I don't know. I can do a good cartwheel. Have you said that yet?
You could, but I wouldn't be able to see it.
Oh, you guys are so great. I'm so grateful for you guys doing shows like this. Very grateful for you.
Oh, come on. It's first of all, it's you. Why wouldn't we? It's you.
Oh, thank you.
Congratulations, by the way. Congratulations on your nomination.
Thank you very
I'm so
much.
happy for you. You had
Thank you.
Wonderful year at GH. You really did.
Yeah, there's yeah, you think? Yeah, I mean, I certainly always
well,
do my
aside from the
best.
fact that Ava was dying, but other than that, yes, you did.
I always do my very best, that I'll say. And I love Ava. I love Ava very much.
We love Ava.
As I said earlier before you called in, I literally said that Ava gives no fucks about anybody.
I couldn't hear you. No, yeah, okay. Yeah, is that what you said? Yeah.
That's what I said. I said Ava gives no fucks, and that's why we love her. That's why we love her. She gives no fucks about anybody, and that's why we love her. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, I think that puts that. I think that's partial. Well, you guys are doing your thing, but obviously she does give certain fucks. But, I think, but I think that they're true. Yes, there are certain fucks that she doesn't give, and those are the good ones. So that does make it fun, for sure.
Yes. Yes. I mean, it's just the way that you play the character that makes us feel for her. And there was some scenes where I really did feel for the relationship between Ava and Kiki. Kiki really didn't have anything. She didn't want anything to do with her mother. And I literally felt bad for Ava at the fact that Kiki was turning her away. And this is coming from a guy that said never would call her by that name, and I'm sitting here saying that name 3 times. I normally call her Lauren, but it's true.
Good Lauren. Yeah.
But it is. It's just the fact that you're able to play it in such a way where I just felt sympathy for her, that she's pretty much not having a relationship with her daughter, and who can do that? Who can do that for somebody that has no other regard for anybody else's feelings? You can definitely sit here and say she has regard for her family. She cares about her family. She loves her family. no matter what, even if the thing she does is wrong.
Right. I